This is one of the best maps to get better all around at the game in one place, to get better piece control, better crosshair placement, better editing speed, and better aim all in one place. It's Raider's mechanics training. A lot of you have played version 1, 2, and 3. He has come out with version 4. The code is at the top of the screen, as you can see, and it has everything you'd expect out of a Raider's mechanics training map. It has aim training, peak practice, free builds, piece control tunnels, and peak training at the same time, piece control tunnels with targets, crosshair placement training, clutch practice, and more stuff coming soon. I'm not going to go through all of the aiming scenarios in this map because it would make the video like an hour long. But for instance, go to full piece 200, free play, start, and it puts you in a scenario where you're piece controlling, boxing a bot, and then pumping them in the face. This is really good for people like me who struggle with range or with aim close range. To practice, because I always focus on my edit speed and my stuff like that when I'm close range, but I never focus on actually hitting the target, and that's why I lose a lot of fights. For instance, AR tracking. I'm gonna choose high ground, and then sometimes I just like to sit here and just track with my mouse like this without shooting, and just get in the habit of, you know, tracking. And then obviously you're gonna assume the red dot's the player head. And so you're just gonna, you can either spray, but that's gonna make your accuracy percentage go down, or you can tap fire. You have even aim, you have these aim duel ones, which is really good too. Aim duel, let's do flat. And it just puts you in a scenario like this. Okay, picture you full box somebody and you're just in here and you need to, you know, have good tracking. What I like to do is I like to move around a lot in this scenario as well with the AI, and I just like to, you know, this one's very useful, peak practice. So essentially you can choose a medium, easy, hard, or pro, and you can choose what size you want the target to be. So you can go into either on any of these boxes pretty much, and you're just basically trying to not be hit by the bot like I just was. So you're gonna make a peek and you're gonna shoot. You're gonna make a peek and you're gonna shoot. So this is all about, you know, when you piece somebody, right? And like I tend to make a wide edit, like, you know, like this when I piece somebody, or like that. And this is all about making sure you make a minimal edit and you're peeking correctly. Rebuild is probably the most important part of this whole map. So it has these different speeds. I recommend 0.8, but if you really struggle, you can go to 0.6 or 0.4, but you'll have to work your way up to normal. Now, this is very, very good for getting better crosshair placement, better editing, and better piece control. So you go into 0.8 and you practice builds that you commonly mess up, like triple edits like this, right? And you're just practicing. You're editing your crosshair placement, piecing, right? And what I notice is with this map, a lot of times I would find when I go to piece somebody, I just like my builds place all the way over there, right? Blah, 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 because I have bad crosshair placement. So I was able to slow it down like this and figure out exactly why that is and where I need my crosshair to be to get a full piece in on somebody very smoothly. Right? Because I would always blame it on lag. I would always blame it on, you know, oh, the game didn't place my builds where I wanted them to place. Well, no, that's me. That's my crosshair placement, right? So yeah, what I like to do is go into 0.8 like this first and practice, you know, those scenarios. And then when I feel like, okay, I'm doing decent on 0.8, I'll ramp it up then to 0.9 and I'll do the same exact thing. Eventually, you know, you'll get to full speed then and you'll be vibing. You'll still mess up some stuff, and if you find out you're messing up a specific edit, go lower the speed back down again and practice it some more. But what is really the most important is that you're focusing on your crosshair placement, right? Not making these wide ass edits, but making a small edit like that. It'll help you be way more consistent, and it'll keep your crosshair where you want it to be. Because, for instance, I'll illustrate it like this. If I have a double edit like this, if I'm making a movement like that, and my crosshair ends up down here with a really wide mouse movement and bad crosshair placement, I then have to bring my crosshair up to hit that edit right there, right? I've gone over this before on some of my other videos, and then I have to bring my crosshair up to do that. Versus if you have good crosshair placement, you'll be making boom, boom, a small motion like that, and it'll be easy to hit that or to place cones or whatever you need to place. And then you have these piece control tunnels, which I'm not going to go through all of them because it would make the video super long. But the idea of a piece control tunnel, both the classic one and the one with bot, is the same. You're just trying to place as many builds as you can as you go through these. Oops. All right, then we have the piece control and peak training. I'm going to put the bot reaction time on easy because I find it's still pretty decent. And then start. So it's like a piece control tunnel, except you're going to try to peek the bots in the most optimal way possible to not get hit. So you're going to place these builds. And you see the bots up there. And if you peek him like this, he'll hit you. So essentially, you got to place the builds. And then you got to make an edit where he won't hit you and then bop him. But it helps you because piece control doesn't really matter if you get hit still, right? So you can go slow. I would go slow like the first several times you do this to figure out, okay, what builds do I need to place to not get hit and where do I need to place them in each scenario. So like, okay, here, good, here, good, here, good. Right there, I peeked up too soon when I could have been down here and placing them there. So that was bad. And then there, also, I jumped out too soon. So it helps you to figure it out. Okay, there's a bot here. How am I going to piece him? So here I can make an edit like that. Put that in there. And he still doesn't have an angle. I can edit this, and then hit the peak. Which I'm fine with taking a little damage there because the chances are you're going to hit the player more on that peak than they hit you. When possible, always make this triangle edit and hit the peak like that. You might have to do it multiple times. But the triangle edit one's the one where they won't hit you the most. So it's a really good one because I find a lot I make those really bad edits and bad choices when I open up on someone. Tunnels with targets, the same one as the regular tunnels. It just has bots that you piece up. They don't shoot back, but it's really good to, like, you know, not only get piece control practice, but the aim practice too. This right here, the crosshair placement one, is extremely useful. I wish I had like cone and ramp ones too, but the wall one is the one that's most important anyways. So here you can set what edits you want to practice. I'm going to set these 4 edits here, as well as these 2. So then I'm going to go to moving, place the wall, and it puts you in these weird angles, right? And because you're not always going to be in the most optimal angle to edit a wall. Sometimes you'll be above, sometimes you'll be below, right? In a real game scenario. So it helps you get used to having decent piece control in a suboptimal scenario. And it's really difficult, the moving one is, but it actually pays dividends. Because so like picture you're above someone right here and you smack down and you take their wall and you want to edit it, right? You're not always going to be at a good angle. You're not always going to be at a straightforward angle like this, right? Sometimes you'll be above, sometimes you'll be below. Right here, if he's right there and I want to hit a little edit and make a peek on him. And then lastly, we have this clutch practice one, which I'm not sure how useful it is, but I'll just put in a 1v2 scenario. So the 2v1 is good because if you're in a 2v1, most likely those players aren't even going to build that much on you. They're going to just try to spam the crap out of you in most scenarios. And these bots are pretty accurate, so you got to like be very careful. And you can set this to a 1v3 as well, but it's really cancerous. This is a good way to put it all together. Like we just talked about the peak training. You have to peek these bots in a way you're not going to get hit because they have laser beam accuracy. You can practice piecing these bots and practice those peaks that we just practiced. I'm excited to see what he's going to add to the map, but that's an overall like high level overview of this map. The code again is at the top of the screen. It has been for the whole video. I'm not going to put it in the description because of that reason. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of the map. If you enjoyed the map, make sure you put Raider464 as your supporter creator. He makes a lot of really good, really great maps, and he deserves it a lot. You can look up any of his maps. They're all really, really great for like mechanics, aiming, building, editing. He has a bunch of different ones to help you out. This one is just really comprehensive and includes a lot of things. And I think with piece control and crosshair placement being 2 of the most under-talked about features, under-talked about skills by professional players, that this map warrants a spotlight because more people need to know who want to get better at the game that these are the 2 mechanics that they're hiding from you. They always are showcasing in their videos, you know, quadruple edits, triple edits, and saying you need to learn this retake, you need to learn this triple edit. No, you need to learn good box fighting skills, which starts with good aim, piece control, and crosshair placement. Basically, every fight in any game, whether it's competitive or whether it is casual, can come down to a box fight if you force it to. You can sit on low ground and force any player who takes high ground on you to come down and box fight you. Most fights in Fortnite will come down to box fights, because if you're build fighting someone to the moon, you're going to run out of mats sooner or later, and you're going to have to box up, or they're going to have to box up and box fight you. It's just going to happen. So why would you spend hours learning a bunch of high ground retakes unless you're going to be a PG player in creative 1v1ing people for money, when you could just learn box fighting, piece control, crosshair placement, have good aim, and win 90% of fights in a real game scenario? And I have a few videos up that expand on crosshair placement and why it's so important, most notably my recent one, and piece control, how to get better piece control using crosshair placement. So if you want a more high level overview of that, look at that video. But this one also, this video here expands on that concept a little bit, because what I didn't talk about in that video a lot was the angles and the peaks that you take when you piece control and have good crosshair placement, right? I just focused on, hey, this is why you need to have piece control, and this is how to get decent piece control as a beginner. But this is the next step here. As you saw in that peak map that we did, the peak exercise we did, you have to make sure you're peaking in a way you're not going to get blasted the second you open your edit up. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe. Let me know in the comment section below what maps you would like to see me showcase, what skills you would like to see me make some videos on. And as always, I appreciate everyone watching, and I'll see you next video. Thank you.